everyone, it's me and Ernie. Hi! And we're going to have our first writing lesson virtually. Last week, you guys sent me the animals that you were interested in learning about, and this week we're going to start researching about them. But I wanted to talk about how do you do good research. And so my lesson today is going to be, how are you going to do research on your animals? So the sheet that I have in front of me is the same sheet that you guys have in your folders that you were sent home with. You have 3 of those sheets. If you need more, you are totally welcome to print them out. They will be under writing on our website. So the topic that I decided to choose from our animal list was the Pileated Woodpecker. And I'm going to write that on each sheet next to topic. Source means what source are you using? Emily and I have put sources online for you related to your animal that you can use to learn more about the animal. If you have other sources that you would like to use, you are welcome to do that, but it's important to write down what your source is. This sheet also has 5 interesting facts that you've learned, 3 new or interesting words that you've read, and then 3 questions that you have, and then finally a picture that kind of explains or shows what you learned from that resource. The hardest part about researching and taking notes is making sure that you put things in your own words, and also making sure that you find VIPs, the very important points. Luckily, we have done this work earlier in the year when you guys annotated, that means wrote next to articles or in the margins of articles about water. We did that a few months ago. We were identifying very important points in preparation for this unit. So you guys already have practice, but I wanted to review how do you do that. So underneath this, I have a resource about the Pileated Woodpecker. And so I'm going to show you how I do research, and I recommend it's a good way to do it. You can do it your own way. But this helps in thinking about putting things in our own words so that we don't steal words from other people. So it says, the Pileated Woodpecker. The Pileated Woodpecker is one of the largest woodpecker species in North America, and its look is unmistakable. A large black bird with white on each side of its neck and a red crest on its head. When it flies, white flashes are visible under its wings. So after I read a small chunk like that, I cover it up. And now I have to think about, what did I hear? Or what did I read? Well, the first thing I remember reading is it's found in North America. So it's found in North America. That's one fact. I also learned that it has red on its head. It has red on its head. Oops, don't need that apostrophe. Its head, and it's black and white. I also learned it's pretty big. It can be as big as a crow. If I didn't remember enough, I can always go back and reread it one more time just to make sure I got that information. It's one of the largest woodpecker species in North America, and its look is unmistakable. A large black bird with white on each side of its neck and a red crest on its head. When it flies, white flashes are visible under its wings. So I actually want to put something else here. I'm going to add, it can be as big as a crow. It's the biggest woodpecker, or one of the biggest woodpecker. It's one of the biggest woodpeckers. The reason I cover it up is because then it becomes my own words and my own thinking versus I'm copying exact sentences down from my source. That's called plagiarism, and it's where you're stealing words that other people have written. So when you put it in your own words, it becomes your own words. So these are my Emily words about the Pileated Woodpecker. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. Type, that means what kind of animal is it? It's a bird. Diet, omnivore. Ooh, that's a good word. I'm going to write omnivore down. Okay. Body, 16 to 19 inches. Wingspan, 26 to 30 inches. Weight, 8.8 to 12.3 ounces. So I could cover that up and I could write down that information too if I wanted. You might want to, especially the first article, you might have a lot of facts that you're learning because everything is new. So you can have, if you have too many facts and it fills up the 1 through 5, you can always write more on the back. So I actually, when there's numbers, I usually have to keep sneaking back to look at it. So I can see, I could say most are between 16 and 19 inches tall. And that might just be the only thing I include. I am also going to include they eat both plants and animals. I got that from this word, omnivore. Omnivore means you eat both plants and animals. We are omnivores. We eat both plants and animals. All right, I'm going to keep going. The sound of the pileated woodpecker's hammering carries a long distance through the woods where they live. They drum to attract mates and to establish the boundaries of their territory, warning other males away. They use their beaks to peck and dig under bark to find carpenter ants, beetle larvae, and other insects, and will often dig large rectangular holes in trees to uncover their meals. Okay, so I've run out of space here, so I'm going to turn on the back, and I'm going to say they peck for a few reasons. One is to make noise and find a mate. They also peck to find food, like larvae. They make holes in trees. Okay. Some holes are so big that they weaken small young trees. The birds also strip pieces of bark from trees looking for food. Generally, however, pileated woodpeckers help keep a forest healthy by eating wood-boring insects. Ooh, that's important. So I'm going to say, while they may damage trees, they are actually useful. They are good for forests because they eat bad bugs. Okay. A nesting pair of pileated woodpeckers usually makes a nesting hole in a large older tree. During the day, both parents take turns incubating. Ooh, that's another good word. Incubating. Or sitting on the eggs to keep them warm. At night, only the male incubates the eggs. They generally lay 4 eggs at a time, which take about 2 weeks to hatch. So they lay 4 eggs. Oops, can't spell eggs. Eggs, which take 2 weeks to hatch. Awesome. Okay, so I think I've gotten the most important information from this passage. I can always reread it again and see if I missed something. And now I need to finish this page. I need to find another new or interesting word. I have omnivore. I have incubating. I'm actually going to use this word crest. I want to know more about this word crest. When you're thinking about interesting words, you're thinking about descriptive words or words that are new to you that might help you understand your animal better. So I need to know what omnivore means. I need to know what incubating means. And I think crest is really important. I think it has to do with your head, but I might need to do a little bit more research on that. The 3 questions you have is I want you to think about the article or your video, whichever source you're looking at. And I want you to think about what wasn't answered for you. what do you still want to know? So one thing I want to know is, how long do they live? I also want to know, do they have the same mate for life? And my other question is, do male and females look the same? Do males and females look the same? This helps guide my research for the next resource. So if I have these things in mind, I'm looking out for those answers, or I'm also looking out for ways that I can find those answers. You might have less questions, or fewer questions, as you read more. And so it might be harder to do this, but try to get, especially at the beginning, try to have 3 questions. And then you can also draw a picture to show your learning. So I might draw 4 eggs so I can remember that they usually lay 4 eggs. And then I also might draw a leaf to remind myself that they eat plants. And then I also might draw a worm to remind myself that they eat both plants and animals. So what you're going to do this week is you are going to be in charge of doing your own research using this sheet to help guide it. You need to use the sources that we've provided. We have at least 3 for each animal, so you should have 3 sources that you use. I'm sorry, I forgot to put the source. The source here was National Geographic Kids. So I would write at the top, National Geographic Kids. All you're doing this week is researching. The following week, we're going to put this research into actual writing. You're just getting everything down that you need. If you need more of these sheets and you found sources on your own, again, I said you could download them and print them out. They're there for you. Otherwise, these are in your green folder. Good luck researching. Can't wait to hear how it goes.